Often, it's usually only if I start in Ash Canyon. I think I can start in Ash Canyon. Often when I go for the technical backpack, or tactical backpack, I don't remember which, often I die. That journey kills me. That's what happens. So, I'm actually feeling pretty confident right now. Welcome to Konatus Games, where I strive to survive. I hope that you're well. This is episode 2 of an Interloper playthrough of the Long Dark. I've just arrived at Angler's Den in Ash Canyon, and I'm preparing to get the technical backpack in the gold mine. Let's get into it. First things first, I'm going to start a fire here at Angler's Den, make some water, and start looting the place. I lost quite a bit of health on my way here, so I'm going to rest here. So I'll probably collect some food from the surrounding area, mostly cattails, and then set out for the gold mine in the morning. It's going to be a long trip, it's going to be a cold trip, so I need to make sure that I have enough health to make it there alive. That's good for now. Let's make some water. Now we'll loot the place. Now, last time I mentioned guaranteed matches here. I'm actually going to take a torch, just so that you can see things more easily. It's always good to look around with good lighting. The guaranteed matches are right here. So those are always there. Now let's see what else we have. Fry bar, great. A little bit of food. Some spray paint. I don't really want that. Nothing in there. Some dog food. Another can, I'll take it. A little bit of oil. Ah, there's a skill book back there. Can I reach that from here? Well, it's not really useful on Interloper, but I'll at least pull it out here. Diary page. Just about run out of excuses for keeping my mouth shut. Those miners might look down on me now, but if they keep on digging like they are. Too deep, if you ask me. Much too deep. Drums in the deep. Quality tools, that's great. Oh, would you look at that? Some arrowheads, more matches. Those are not always there, but I will take them. A little bit of cloth, that's helpful. It's 18 minutes until boiled. Alright. So I'm going to take a torch to protect me from wolves. Those wolves might still be right outside the door. They shouldn't be as loud this time. I fixed the audio problems that I was having. And just in case, let's add just a little bit more fuel to here. Let's just see what's going on around here. All right. So nothing around the building. I need a key for that. There's a deer, but I don't have a way to get them. There's a couple of deers over there. But I can spend a minute and collect some cattails that aren't going to be on my way. I'm going to be going the other direction. So the trip to the gold mine is a long one, and there's not a ton of shelter. You basically go up past that waterfall that I showed you last time up there. And once you go up there, you'll find a cave past a lot of wolves. And it can be warm inside that cave. And then you have a long journey crossing these bridges that span the chasms between mountains here in Ash Canyon. They cross over the canyon. And the biggest danger up there really is just the weather. There's very little protection from the elements. Now, I don't even have gloves, so frostbite is going to be a very real danger. I'm going to need to make sure to bring a lot of sticks, plenty of fuel. I want to bring water and whatever food I can get my hands on, which isn't that much. So let's see, I only have one cloth. That's not great. Any curtains? No. So frostbite is going to be a real danger during this trip. I think that I'm going to go back out for a little while. "12 matches. I should have quite a few matches. Okay. I think this is going to blow out immediately, but it's really my only protection out here. There's a ton of cattails in that direction. But I don't want to go too far. I have that water boiling, and if my fire goes out, the torch, I mean, then I'm going to be pretty exposed to wolves. And there are a lot of wolves in this area. Sounds like maybe I startle an animal, deer or something running off. Nothing to worry about. Alright, that's pretty good. I'm going to get a lot more cattails on the way up to the gold mine, so this is perfectly fine. This is plenty. So now I'm just going to go back, warm up, and get ready for morning. I'll see if I can craft any mushroom tea or maybe rose hips. I'm not really sure exactly how much of that stuff I have. I want to go for well-fed right away. That will give me a carry capacity buff. And that's very valuable. The more you carry, the slower you move, and it depends on the weight of what you're carrying relative to your carry capacity. So a higher capacity means that you'll have less of a speed penalty for the same amount of weight. All right. I'll make one beer dressing just to have, just in case. And I should make some teas, because those will help me a lot in not freezing to death. You can get frostbite while you are... So how teas work is they give you a warming up bonus. That usually isn't going to help very much, but it helps offset some of the cold penalty to your temperature. But they also restore some of your temperature. So that little meter in the bottom left, that'll actually be increased when you drink hot tea. Normally you only get frostbite when you're freezing, when your temperature is at 0, but because of tea you can get frostbite while you're not freezing. Make just a little bit more. That's fine. I think I'll let that die out. You know, part of me wants to try to get to the cave, actually. No, I need this bed. I don't have a bedroll. Yeah, I'm gonna let that die out. Alright, so this is pretty early in the day to go to bed. Let's see what else I can do. I don't think there's much. Alright, I'm not in bad shape. I definitely need more food, but we have plenty of tinder, more tinder than we need, honestly. We have tons of matches, that's great. We have a mag lens, great. We'll pick up some sticks on the way. We are ready to make some teas, that'll help keep us warm. I don't think oh, I do have a sewing kit. Maybe I should repair something. None of these are really endgame gear, but this could be a lot more effective. Right now it's barely doing anything for my warmth. It's 0.1 degrees. So maybe let's try to repair this. Okay. 0.4. Alright. Not great, but 4 times as effective, I suppose. Don't have much food. Let me harvest some of these bad torches. Now, these torches are going to be very important, because I'm going to have to pass through some wolves, and if there's a lot of wind, if I can't light torches, that's going to be a problem. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. Alright, I'm just going to eat and sleep, and then get a move on. So my favorite part of this game is the beginning, when you have nothing, and all of your choices matter. That's very, very fun for me. Now, you're going to see I'm going to sleep 10 hours on Interloper. That's the longest you can sleep before becoming dehydrated. If you're dehydrated, you're losing health. So 10 hours is what you want to sleep on Interloper, assuming you have enough calories, and assuming your hydration bar is full, and assuming it's warm enough to sleep without freezing to death. A lot of people don't realize that you don't get woken up on Interloper if you sleep and it's too cold. You can very easily freeze to death. Also, you gain some health back for the first 8 hours that you're asleep, and then the ninth and 10th hour, you gain an additional amount of health back. So look at that, I'm almost full now. Oh, we have an Aurora. That's kind of cool. I'll take it anyway. Let's see if I can step out here and immediately be killed by a wolf. Yeah, that is beautiful. You can see those bridges, by the way, that I'm going to have to cross. There's one right there. A couple up there. Oh, that's gorgeous. Well, I may as well take a second and see if I can gather some more sticks, some cattails, just something. You know, I have to be awake anyway, so. But I'm already going to go that way, so I don't want to harvest all the cattails from that direction, because that's where I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to leave the cattail heads because I don't need more tinder. I have plenty. You can leave them by right-clicking. You left-click, so once you process this, you left-click to accept the item, or right-click to leave it. It'll just drop it right on the floor. This will save me a little bit of time in the morning, so I can just get going and get to that cave. Once I'm in that cave system, assuming I have some firewood, even just a bunch of sticks, I should be able to get warm again before continuing my journey. So that Aurora's over. Probably be dark in here. There's that frostbite risk. It sets in quickly, but it takes some time before that bar becomes full. So I should be looking straight. Now the bed should be on my left somewhere. There it is. I'll sleep a couple of hours. Gain a little bit more health, wait for the sun to come up. Now, the morning is very cold, so it would be good to wait just a little bit longer, and that is what I'm going to do. going to be very cold out there, but I think I've dallied long enough. It's time to get out there. So we're heading to that waterfall. We're going to go right up that slope where we went to last night to collect those cattails. We're going to climb right up there. We're going to get behind that waterfall. Now, usually I don't like to run too much, especially early game when you don't have a lot of food. Running burns extra calories, so you can easily get yourself into a situation where you could have a problem. Or at least you might have to sacrifice your well-fed, which if you have to, you have to, right? It's better to not have that buff than to just starve to death. But I would like to keep it if I can. But sometimes I'll run if it's very cold out. Some tomato soup. Because sometimes it's worth it to just get inside faster. Right now, if you look at the thermometer, the temperature meter, I only have 2 arrows pointing down. That's not too bad. I'm not worried about being out here for a little while. I used to be really intimidated by Ash Canyon, not so much anymore. I mean, it's still threatening. I might die here. That's entirely possible. But it's a really beautiful region. And it's somewhat unique. You know, there are a few regions in the game, especially now with Sundered Pass, that's another one, but Hushed River Valley and Ash Canyon as well, that have a vertical component to them. And that just gives them a very different feel than many of the other places in this game. So it's a very unique region. I think those vertical regions tend to feel more difficult. Maybe they are more difficult. I'm not sure. That might be psychological. I don't know. I know there are some studies about the perception of exertion and distance and weight. And so if you are tired and you are looking up a mountain trail, so there's wolves over there. I'm going to need to light this. I'm going to stay over here first and grab some cattails. You see there's one right there. If people are looking up a trail, up a mountain, and they're tired, they measure the distance of that trail as greater, right? They perceive it as a much longer trail than when they're not tired. And the same with weight. If you're tired and you're asked to estimate how much something weighs, you typically give a higher number than if you're not tired. So our perception is shaped by our activity and by how prepared we are to perform activity. Now, this wolf is tricky because with this torch, he won't attack me unless I get too close, and he will often be right on the other side of this rock, and he can jump me. Okay, that's not a problem. He's far away enough, and I'm just going to do the trick, and he'll leave. Now, this area I'm in has a lot of wolves. More wolves than the one I showed you before. But this is it. It's completely safe so long as you have fire. Probably need to chain this torch at some point. know what? I'll do it right now just to be safe. That idea that perception is shaped by action, that takes many forms in the cognitive science and psychology and philosophy literatures. To some extent, the pragmatists, the American pragmatists, especially John Dewey, had an idea like this. In psychology, we have Gibson's ecological psychology. He talks about affordances. The idea is that certain things in an environment afford certain things for certain organisms based on mutually specifying conditions of the organism and the environment. So a chair, a certain size, it affords sitting for a human being, but not for a bumblebee, right? It's not the right size, it's not the right shape. Bumblebees don't have the right anatomy. And so what is afforded is relational, and what we perceive depends on what we can do in the environment. So our perception is shaped by our existence in the world, right? This is also an idea in phenomenology, which is a branch of philosophy. It's also in cognitive science, especially philosophical cognitive science. You have this idea in what's called enactivism today. The idea is that perception's inactive. We enact a world by actually, moving around and doing things. All right, I'm warm in here. That's great. Let's pull out another torch. We'll warm up while we're in here. Wonderful. So sorry to nerd out about that a little bit. I'm not actually sorry, but maybe you weren't prepared for it. Okay, so this is a whole weird thing. I think this still works, but we're about to find out. I'm going to drop this torch like this, so it's on the floor there. This water will freeze my clothes, so I'm going to take all of my clothes off. Then I'm going to right-click this torch. Oh, I dropped them. I didn't take them off. I dropped them. Silly me. Okay, I'm going to take this torch. I'm going to walk right through. So I right-clicked it. That was the water. Freezing cold. Now let's find a place to put this torch. And look at that. It stays lit. If I had that in my hand, the waterfall would have doused it. And now I can put all of my clothes back on and they're not frozen. I'm good to go. I'm warm again. So, yeah, so maybe after going on that little rant, maybe I should tell you a little bit about myself just to contextualize that. So I am a professional philosopher. I studied philosophy for a long time. I got my doctorate in that. Let me get another torch. And I'm really interested in experience, in human experience, and ethics, and perception. And so I'm very interested in philosophical cognitive science, and psychology, and phenomenology, and all these things. And I'm sure, once in a while, as I find excuses, as you saw, I'll talk about these things, because I like talking about them. And if you're interested in philosophy, I highly recommend you leave a comment about things that you find fascinating, right? I'm not necessarily here to teach or anything like that. I'm as a teacher, because I do teach philosophy, I always take the approach that I'm a student as well, I try to learn, every semester from my students too. I love learning, and I think philosophy is for everybody. I think we do it all the time. So if you have, just anything you want to share that you think is interesting and philosophical, I'm always happy to just think about those things and, hear what you have to say. So leave that stuff in the comments. I would love that. And maybe we can have a discussion, or I'll talk about something. Not necessarily as an expert. I might just think that what you said is really interesting and share it or something like that. But I do like to think about these things. Alright, so I'm just going to loot this area up, and then I'm going to climb this rope. This coal is going to keep me alive, right? This coal is very important coal. So I'm going to just throw that. Ooh, I don't have a great torch situation. Alright. Let's go. Might have to make another fire. But I'm going to try to get through here. I'll have to make a fire at the end of this anyway. I'm not warming up fast enough. And so it's not the worst thing in the world if I have to make a fire a little bit sooner than I intended. That's fine. It's not a problem. I'll do it right now. And I will hope that this succeeds. We'll use a book for a slightly better chance. Sticks are pretty good. Books are better. Great. Alright. Let me put on this firewood. It's heavy. Put on a couple of sticks. I'll grab a torch. 1 second. Alright. Sorry about that. I just had to take care of something real quick. Sometimes there's some loot over here. Yep, there's a guy. I really like another channel on YouTube. There's a guy who goes by Sprocket Games or Sprocket Gaming. I really enjoy his stuff. He's very laid back. And why I was thinking about that was sometimes he gives these bodies, it's a little morbid, but sometimes he gives these bodies personality and voices. They'll sort of talk as them, have a conversation. He does voices in when he reads notes as well, and I think that's just a really fun thing that he does. I would recommend checking out his channel if you have not already done so. I'll make a little bit more water here. It doesn't hurt to have some more water. I need some time anyway to get warmer. Put this torch away. Look at how cozy this is. This is a scary game. It's a survival game. I think sometimes it's almost a horror game. The horror comes in large part from loneliness, but also from the audio engineering. The appearance of these caves and some desolate, buildings and structures, this wasteland. But I think it's also a cozy game. Right, I got my fire. I have some water cooking up. That's life right there. Right. Maybe I'll heat up some teas while I'm at it. Do I have any? Oh, I can make some tea. That's what I'll do. So let's see what else I can do. Can I multitask? No, not really. This is a very interesting thing right now. If you have this right now, when I'm releasing this video, good on you. The Cougar was released very briefly, and then there was some community concern about how it was implemented. A lot of people liked it, but a significant number of people didn't. And so after just a couple of days, it was removed. So if you have this, this means that you acted very quickly, and you managed to kill a cougar, which is very difficult, very fast before it was removed from the game. So for right now, this item is quite a flex. Alright, here's the plan. I'm going to take this water, and now I'm going to make some tea. I usually like to use rosehip tea. I just think that it gives a pain-killing effect, and I just don't think that's very valuable. It's a little valuable, but it's less valuable than things like the antibiotic effect that reishi tea gives. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Pick these up. I'm going to drop these teas, put them near the fire. They're going to heat up. I'm not going to put them on here. They'll burn on there eventually. I can put them here. 7 minutes. And once... Yeah, see, this one was already hot. Now if I move it, just right-click it and put it down again, it won't burn now. I'm going to add a little bit of fuel here because I want to take a bunch of torches. This was not an ideal place to stop. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But it'd be nice if I don't have to stop here again, you know? In a place like this again. I'd rather just have plenty of torches, not have to worry about it. Not a great torch, but I will take it at this point in the game. I don't really need my inventory space for much else, so that's fine. Eat some of these. So once I leave this cave, that's where we have a long stretch where we're outside. And that can be a very dangerous stretch. Alright, let me load up all these torches, and then we will get out of here. Oh, did I just put coal on there? Oh, I meant to put a stick on. Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. More torches for me. I just know it, though. With all these torches, I'm going to step outside, and there's going to be crazy wind. And these torches will be useless until I get inside again. Alright, let's take our tea, and let's leave. Let's get out of here. We're not far from the exit, if I recall correctly. So that goes back to the rope. We're going to go this way. Oh yeah, it's right here. This is fine. Now when I come out here, I could go to a small building. It's a little mining town, I guess. It's the residents. The workers live there. I can try that, but there is a bear that... Yep, there's the wind. There's a bear that hangs out there. There can be some food, there can be some loot. But it can be very risky. So I might see if the bear is over there, but I'm not really equipped to deal with him right now. He can be right in your way. Let's see. So I believe it's right here. So this bear is very dangerous. Right now, it's a blizzard. I might not even see the bear until it's too late. But I don't really intend to come back here until maybe very late game. So if I can get the loot right now, then I would love to do that. Okay, so the bear can be right down there. This is his territory, and I'm not especially welcome here. But it would be great if I could find a little bit more food and a little bit of clothing. Alright. No bear so far. There's bones though, which means that this is, I believe it means that this is an active bear region. The bear does live here on this save. So when you start your file, the bears are somewhat randomized. There are spots for bears in each map. He could be anywhere here. And when you start your file, it decides where that bear is going to be. My only hope against the bear right now, if we were to encounter it, would be to spot it early and then to sneak around. That is my only hope. I don't know this spot super well. I think there are some buildings to the left. I think there's one building up here and to the right. But I don't know it super well. So we'll see how this goes. This could go badly. Yeah, I think there's a building up here. Yep. Perfect. Now I don't know if bears are like wolves, where in a blizzard, they're just not around. Unless you happen to be near them when the blizzard hits. So it's entirely possible that this blizzard is actually keeping the bear away from us. Good, a marine flare, that's useful. So, as I've said before, I'm not all that concerned about matches, especially early on. It's probably a waste of a match right now, but I am going to light a torch so that I can loot this place better. There's cloth here too. There's not a lot of cloth in this region. That's a whetstone. But there's cloth here, and that will help me make some gloves so that I won't get frostbite. Great. This place has already been very worth it just for cloth and boots. Ah, skillet. Great. Good loot here. Got salt. These are cooking ingredients. We got a recipe for ranger stew. Excellent. Summit soda. I love those because they give you that hydration, as well as a little bit of calories. Oh, that's great. This was a great trip. Very worthwhile to come here. I'm going to start a fire. I'm going to make a little bit of water, just because this fire is going to go out anyway, so I may as well make use of it while I rip up that cloth and maybe repair some things. That ski jacket is great. I would love to fix that up. There's another building and some ruins to explore here. I think I can find them in the blizzard, but I would prefer if I didn't have to. Make some water and start tearing up cloth. I actually might even want to stay here. I might just want to repair things throughout the night, stay here, and gain some more health back. One liter of water takes about an hour. Half liter takes about 35-40 minutes. Alright, let's make some hand wraps. I have about 40 minutes because I just put this on. So let's equip those hand wraps. Now we don't have to worry about frostbite. Let's see how long this will take. I have about 40 minutes, so let's do it. Alright, I could use a lot more. Let's take this. More water. I think I'm going to cook these potatoes, because they're no good to me like this, so I may as well. Secret potato. Alright, 48 minutes there. About 15 minutes here. So... 30 minutes, that should be fine. Take it. All right. It's really just this ski jacket. Once this potato is ready, I'm gonna let this burn out. I think I'll have enough light to repair the ski jacket. That should be fine. Alright, I'm going to let that die out. I'm going to go over here so that I can be near a bed in case it gets too dark. And I'm going to... I'll eat this potato right now. It's fine. Not very many calories, but every bit helps. And now let's repair this a little bit more. That's great. That's huge. All right. I think that that is a good place. You know what? Actually, let me sleep first. Let's sleep so that next time we can start on a nice, new, fresh day. So I'm going to sleep, and then in the morning, and on the next episode, I will continue to the gold mine. I'll explore the rest of this little town over here. There's only one building with an interior. I'll manage inventory a little bit, because I'm going to be a little bit over my carrying capacity. And then we will get to the gold mine. Ah, well, that's why I'm over capacity. Good problem to have. Alright, looking good. Actually, let's see if I can spend a little bit more time before going to sleep. Because I want to sleep for 10 hours to get that increased health buff. Now, normally you can't repair things in the dark. If you need to use a tool, then you can't do it in the dark. That's if the sun is below that horizon in the top right. Can't do it. But if you can just use your hands, then usually you can do it. So I'm going to harvest these shoes. I don't need them anymore. And I would love the leather to try to repair those boots if we get a minute. You know, just whenever that's convenient. Work boots are really great. I think they're some of the best boots in the game, if I'm not mistaken. You would think trail boots are better, but they are not. Work boots are better. This is the working man's game. All right. Let's see. I don't need all of this. Okay. Now my inventory is fine. In the morning I'll be at 30. 32 is a little heavy. It's not that big of a deal. I'll cook these up next time I have a chance. I'm going to wait a couple of hours, just past time, just to make sure that I can sleep as much as I want to sleep. You really want to get to, 1/4, a little bit lower than that, I think. All right, drink some water, and then see if I can sleep for 10 hours. 750 calories. I have 1600, plenty. It's going to be nice and warm. See you in the morning. All right. Good morning. I had a nice night's sleep. I'm energetic. I'm healthy. And I'm ready to start the day. So next time, we will explore that town, and we will head over to the gold mine. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. And if you're looking forward to the next video or more content from me, please subscribe. Until next time, strive to survive.